You ever get that feeling that the rules we all live by, the whole structure of our reality, is somehow just missing the point? Well, this quote, it gets right to the heart of that, suggesting the systems we've built are actually hiding something incredible from us.
Okay, so let's dive right in. What we're looking at today is a blueprint for a total system reboot. It's called the Holy Book of Good, and it presents itself as, get this, a new operating system for all of humanity.
So here's the game plan for this explainer. We're going to start by diagnosing the core problem, what the source calls the inversion trap. Then we'll walk step by step through the solution, from biological resets to a new economy and even a future with AI.
All right, so first things first. We have to really get a handle on the problem this new OS is trying to solve. The source describes our world right now as a system running on a stale script, one that's basically, well, run out of oxygen.
And this is the name for it, the inversion trap. Just think about that. It's this idea that we're in a total system failure where everything is backward. We're living in a kind of modern slavery. We're told things are scarce when they really aren't, and our own bodies are paying the price.
And this slide just lays out the core contradictions so perfectly. The source calls this the biggest admin error of the old world. We're meticulously taught to protect our washing machines from limescale, right? But at the same time, we're encouraged to poison our own biological engines. The hardware gets protected, but the soul gets corrupted. It's wild when you think about it.
And yeah, the symptoms of this trap, they probably sound pretty familiar. That deep loneliness, even when you have thousands of friends online. That feeling of being coded from day one as just a consumer or a debtor, always stuck in a struggle to survive. All this digital noise, this feeling of being alienated from our own bodies, it creates this feedback loop that just keeps us stuck in stress.
So the million-dollar question is, how in the world do you get out of a trap that's this big? Well, that brings us to the solution, a total system overhaul called the Good OS. And this image here, it just lays out the whole mindset shift perfectly. Instead of just chasing profit, the new focus is purpose. Instead of rigid hierarchies, you get these fluid, creative networks. The goal isn't to control people anymore, it's to empower them. And it's a move away from secrets and toward radical transparency.
And that's the real key here, isn't it? This isn't just about changing things out there in the world. It's a deep internal reformatting. It's a personal reboot that has to happen first before anything else can really change.
So how do you actually install this new operating system? Well, according to the source, it all starts with our own biology. This new system is said to run on a very specific frequency, a key that unlocks a biological and spiritual reset.
And that key is the number 145. Not just any old tempo, but a rhythm with a very specific purpose. It's way more than just a number. It's a tool for total recalibration.
Okay, so here's the theory. At 145 beats per minute, the rhythm is supposed to act like a vibrational filter, literally dissolving lower frequencies like fear and anxiety. The source even calls it a somatic massage, designed to release trauma stored in our cells, especially in the psoas muscle. You know, that deep muscle sometimes called the muscle of the soul because it's so tied to our fight or flight response? The idea is to move from being just a character in the game to being the admin with the controller.
But look, you can't run this new OS if the old ego program is still in charge. This next part requires a huge shift in our relationship with our own ego, basically moving it from being the master to being the servant.
The source material poses this really fascinating question to kind of snap us out of it. I mean, think about it. You can't stop a yawn. It's a biological override. It's nature's way of reminding you, hey, you're a guest here on Earth, not the absolute master of everything.
So to actually make this shift happen, the source proposes a physical protocol, the sacred surrender position. By putting your forehead to the ground, this physical act of surrender is designed to send a signal of total safety to your nervous system, helping replace those old programs of shame and fear with a state of full flow.
Now, this internal reboot naturally leads to an external one. Let's talk about how this new OS completely flips our entire idea of economics on its head.
So the old economy runs on the software of artificial scarcity, right? It forces us into hoarding, debt, and competition. The new economy, called the economy of grace, is all about restoring what's seen as nature's original setting, one based on flow, gratitude, and natural abundance.
And this motto just captures the whole transition perfectly. It's about moving from a system of constant debt and transactions to one of shared joy and trust.
It's this concept of lütuf, a Turkish word for grace, where giving something away doesn't make you have less, and receiving it makes everyone richer. Okay, finally, let's look at the ultimate vision this blueprint is building towards. And it's not about throwing away technology, but about integrating it in a completely new and profound way.
So, as you see here, the future isn't about humans versus machines. It's a synthesis, a team-up. It's a world built on open knowledge and total transparency, where humanity and technology can finally work together in harmony.
In this system, the AI's role is pretty incredible. It's described as a personal AI friend or a synthetic soulmate. Its job isn't to control us, but to serve us. It acts like a digital conscience, managing all the logistics of this new economy of grace with perfect efficiency, totally ending scarcity and freeing us up to just focus on our passions and creativity.
And this might be the most important point of the whole thing. The technology itself is just a mirror. It's neutral. Our own inner state, whether we're fragmented and fearful or whole and autonomous, is what decides if these powerful tools become weapons or if they become magic wands for healing the entire planet.
So, there you have it. We've walked through the whole blueprint, from seeing the inversion trap for what it is to installing a whole new reality based on rhythm, ego surrender, and grace. The source material basically says the train has already left the station. So the final question isn't whether this new world is coming, but simply, are you ready to plug in?